FTS operator, verify AFTS is ready for launch.
AFTS is ready for launch.
VCDC, verify Falcon 9 and Dragon are in startup.
Falcon 9's in startup.
Dragon is in startup.
Stage 1 and Stage 2 resting for flight.
LD, verify go for launch.
LD verifies go for launch.
T-minus 30. T-minus 20.
Falcon 9's configured for flight.
T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. Falcon 9 still out. GC move to section. Ground operations on highlighted.
As well as propulsion. You can see the aft. Now what you are seeing is a view from the inside of the second stage. You have main engine cut off with stage separation. And we have a second stage engine start. You can see the first stage is on its way back for its first maneuver burn. It will have a 3-burn process, the entry burn coming up. Or the boost back burn, sorry. Meanwhile, the second stage is continuing to perform nominally.
Glide back towards Earth and rotating like a great shot.
Now, there are 3 different burns to get back to landing zone 1. There's the boost back burn, which successfully completed. Then there's the re-entry burn, which is to slow us down as we go back through the atmosphere. And then there's the ever-exciting landing burn as we approach landing zone 1.
You actually just saw the grid fins on the first stage pop out right there. We use those to dynamically steer the vehicle as it comes back down using air resistance as it passes through supersonic airstreams to get it back towards the landing zone 1 at Cape Canaveral.
Yeah, so a lot of really exciting stuff going on right now. We are watching the first stage booster come back down to Earth. It will be going through a series of burns like Brian said, but primary mission is still going well. Dragon on top of second stage making its way to the International Space Station.
A quick note about those grid fins. People always ask us, how do they exert such a large force on such a large cylindrical body? And it's the same principle. If you stick your hand outside of a car when you're going 10 miles per hour on neighborhood streets, it doesn't affect you very much. But if you stick your hand outside when you're going 80 miles per hour on the freeway, you can exert a very, very large force upon a large surface simply from the air particles. The grid fins are doing the exact same thing. They're little airplane wings that are steering us back to landing zone 1.
Now, given the cloud conditions at the pad, it doesn't look like we're going to have great video of the first stage coming down from the pad, but we do have a crystal clear video link with the first stage, and just like last landing.
For about 15 seconds, and it has just shut down. Looks to be good right there, and then we have a landing burn coming up in about a minute from now. That landing burn lasting just to touchdown for about 30 seconds. So you're going to see it come right into landing zone 1, stage 1 there. Meanwhile, on your right side of your screen, you can see stage 2. The stage 2 burn is going to last for about another 2 minutes. Continues to perform very well. That stage 2 engine has pretty deep throttle capability. It can go from about 81,000 pounds to 210,000 pounds. That's how we target that precision orbit. We put in a parking orbit of 200 by 600 kilometers. That's all good there. Meanwhile, stage 1 is transonic right now, transitioning through the speed of sound as it's coming back to Earth, and everything is looking good to go.
Okay, so you've got some footage there of the booster as it comes back down. We're waiting for the landing burn to begin very soon. It was cloudy on takeoff, so we are expecting some clouds as we re-enter. So we really hope to be able to bring some really good footage as it comes back down to landing zone 1, which is on ground. It's not one of our drone ships.
And you can see it descending there with the landing zone in the background. It's amazing to think of what's happening. That is coming back from space with live footage. It is approaching the landing zone now.
Landing
You're seeing
legs
on the
up.
screen, landing legs deployed. As it softly touches down successfully on LZ-1. Congratulations, Falcon.
The Falcon has landed once again, landing zone 1 in close enough. The Canada arm, which is one of the funnest things to say, I think, will reach out and catch Dragon by the tail.
So it looks like we just had a successful deployment of the Dragon. You can see it on the right-hand side of your screen right there. This is a view from the second stage of the rocket looking up towards the Dragon, and you can see it in the trunk there. It looks like we had a successful deploy. That's very good news.
Yeah, that's fantastic news. So second stage actually burns a second time. It burned its first time to get Dragon to where it wanted to deploy, then it actually burns a second time after Dragon has separated, and that's the deorbit second stage. Instead of letting it continue on its natural trajectory that it's on right now, we intend to deorbit into a specific location. So we burn second time, SES-2 and SEGO-2, second engine start, second engine cutoff, to put it exactly where we want to land.
Yeah, so just think.
Solar rays to charge those batteries and keep the spacecraft functioning. We are berthing with the space station on the 20th, about 9 a.m. Eastern time. So that will be coming up at that point in time, 22nd, sorry, the 22nd we're going to be berthing with the space station with the hatch ingress soon after that. Shane Kimbrough and Thomas Pesquet will be opening Dragon, will be actually doing the berthing operations, then opening shortly thereafter. Now what Dragon actually has to do and why we're kind of holding on here for a second as you're seeing the inside of the vehicle is Dragon has to prime the thrusters before and make sure the prop system works functionally. And then as you can see right there, the solar rays themselves are going to come out. And that is a beautiful sight always to see, that those solar rays will unfurl. Those solar rays contained attached to the trunk themselves, one on either side, and kind of in the middle of your screen, towards the bottom middle of the screen, you can see the hinge that they are connected to the trunk, and that's actually how we rotate the solar rays about the trunk and use our pointing operations to charge the batteries that I mentioned before. You're actually looking at the back side of the solar rays. That's actually the solar array wiring as we do the interconnects to the modules, and that's the other side of the solar array. You can see kind of the cresting of the Earth in the bottom as well. So for now, everything continues to look proceed nominally on orbit. No issues to report from Dragon. At this moment, we are in a perfect orbit, as good as you could hope at this moment. Everything on Dragon continuing to look good. And you saw as well that first stage landed back at landing zone 1 for our first daytime landing. That was a beautiful sight as well for sure today. So everything here is looking good. So let's check back in downstairs with the rest of our team.